Welcome back. We continue our coverage of CPAC 2015. This is actually called in some ways the silent presidential primary. One gentleman not too silent who took to the podium, Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Let's take a listen.
And around the world, because of the Obama-Clinton foreign policy, our allies no longer trust us, and our enemies no longer fear us. This is the road this president has placed us on. A government that increasingly controls every aspect of our life, from our health care choices to now even the internet. And a foreign policy that treats the Ayatollah in Iran with more respect than the Prime Minister of Israel. Imagine if we cut our taxes and simplified our taxes in our regulatory code. Imagine if we balanced our budget. Imagine if we repealed and replaced Obamacare. If we did these things, our economy would create millions of better paying jobs, and the American dream would reach more people than it's ever reached before. Imagine if we had leaders that understood that the family, not government, is the most important organization in society. And imagine if we had a commander-in-chief that understood that the way to defeat ISIS is not to find him a job. Imagine if we had a president who doesn't travel the world bad-mouthing America. And imagine if we didn't have a Secretary of State who believes that the world is safer today than it's ever been, while at the same time radical Islamic jihadists are taking young women as brides, are burning prisoners in cages, and are beheading Christians on a beach in Libya. If we had these things, America would once again be the most trusted and respected nation on earth, and we would be safer. This new century presents us with significant challenges, but solving them are well within our reach. And if we do, our future will be even better than our history, and the 21st century will also be an American century. Let us now move forward to seize our destiny as who we are still destined to be, the single greatest nation that man has ever known. Well, first we have to understand that the world has rapidly changed. We're basically having the Industrial Revolution every 5 years. That's how fast the world has changed, and our leaders are still stuck in yesterday. They think that if we just pour more money, more of your money, into the same programs that didn't even work that well in the past, we're going to get us out of this. There are three things we have to realize. Globalization is real. We are now in competition with dozens of other countries. And unless we cut our taxes, reduce our regulations, get rid of Obamacare, balance our budget, and fully utilize our energy portfolio, we can't compete. We do those things, we can compete with anyone in the world. The second thing is we need to help our people be stronger than ever. That begins with strong families, by empowering parents, by allowing parents to choose the school their kids go to, not have the government tell them where they're going to go to school. By the way, that also means not having a national school board that imposes a national curriculum on the whole country.
So I'll put you down as yes for Common Core.
Yeah. But beyond that, we need to understand that in the 21st century, some of the best jobs require more than high school, traditional high school, but less than 4 years of college. And that means we shouldn't be stigmatizing those vocational careers. We should be graduating more people from high school ready to work as plumbers, electricians, welders, machinists, BMW technicians, you name it. And by the way, the four-year degree is still important. Okay, I went to four-year degree. By the way, I owed over $100,000 in student loans, which I paid off with the proceeds of my book, now available on paperback, if you're interested. But we have too many people in America today graduating with a four-year degree that doesn't lead to jobs, and they owe tens of thousands of dollars. We should tell students, if you graduate with a major in Greek philosophy, you're going to struggle to find a job because the market for Greek philosophers is tight. So here's the problem that we face in the party. There is a dispute between those who simply think our job is to do a better job of managing the government and those who understand that we are at a crossroads moment in our history, which every generation faces. It's the point of my speech. We're not alone in this. Every generation of American has been asked the same question. Do you want America to be special, or do you want it to be just another country? The point has come again. And so a lot of these issues, I understand they don't play well in the media, but you know what? When Reagan took on the Soviet Union in the Cold War and he said that they were destined for the ash heap of history, that wasn't popular in the media. People thought they called him crazy for calling the Soviet Union an evil empire. There comes important, critical moments in our history where you have to stand up and say, if we keep doing what we're doing now, it isn't going to matter anyways. We're going to lose what makes us different. And that moment has come on a number of these issues, and we have to view it that way.
Let me ask you, you are a first-term senator from the great state of Florida.
Yep.
We have a man in the White House right now who is a one-term senator, voted present as a state senator, had some very bizarre friendships, in case you didn't hear me ever talk about it. I talked about it a lot. But why do you want to be president of the United States?
Well, I haven't made that decision yet, Sean, but a good try to get me to announce it on you. Look,
on a scale of 1 to 100, where are you in the process of committing to it?
I don't know about the number. But look, for me, it's very simple. What I said there is absolutely true. The only reason why I want to be in public service is because I believe I owe a debt to America I will never be able to repay. America doesn't owe me anything.
We all benefit from it.
And I believe that's not a lot of people. Some people don't think that way, but I certainly feel that way, and I think everybody in this room feels that way. Mm-hmm. And to me, for someone who has literally seen my family's entire destiny altered by the fact that America happened to be 90 miles from Cuba instead of some other country, I have to pay that back. And not only do I have to pay that back in some way, I have to make sure that people who are trying to do the same thing now get the chance to do it. I don't want my kids to one day grow up and ask me, how come you got to grow up in the greatest country in the world, but we get to live in a country that's diminished? So I have to decide through careful prayer, where is the best place for me to serve this country at this stage in my life?
If you were elected president, quickly, what would be the top 5 agenda items that you would push hardest for in your first 100 days?
The 3 things we need to do. The first is we need to have a healthy economy. Tax reform, regulatory reform, repeal and replace Obamacare, fully utilize our energy portfolio, and balance our budget. The second is we have to give people the skills they need for the 21st century, totally revolutionize the way we pay for higher education in this country. Not everyone should be forced to get a 4-year degree in order to find a job. There are millions of good-paying jobs out there, and we should allow people to access the skills they need in a cost-effective way. And third, we need the strongest, most powerful military force in the world, and an American foreign policy. That tells the world very clearly it is bad to be our enemy and good to be our friend.
All right. We're running out of time. This is what we call our lightning round.
Okay, lightning round.
Abortion.
I'm pro-life. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
Gay marriage.
I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. That's what it's been for thousands of years, and it served our people well.
Colorado marijuana legalization.
I'm against the legalization of marijuana.
Should every law-abiding American, even in states that have restrictive gun laws like New York, should they have the right to carry a weapon?
Absolutely. The only people who don't care about gun laws are criminals.
And just a little bit of what's happening at CPAC. It's interesting because we saw Marco Rubio start with formal remarks, then submit to question and answers. We understand Jeb Bush later today will do more of that question and answer town hall format. There is more ahead on America's Forum following this Newsmax Now update.